Hey everyone, Robert here, and I wanted to show you a quick way to develop a mouth library. And this also works with eyes and anything like that. Basically, what I'm wanting to do in Moho is create a library that has only switch layers of eyes and mouths that I want to utilize later on in other projects, but we're going to work on just mouths today. And I want to show you the end result of what it's going to look like. So if we go into our window and go under our library, and if we scroll down, you are going to see in here a mouth and eye project file that I have already created that has a couple of different mouths and a couple of different eyes. And if we click on the import, we get the exact same thing that we would if we were importing another library. We have the option of being able to choose the mouths and the eyes that we want. But what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to show you how I did this. So what we're going to do is we are going to go into our character wizard, and let's go ahead and zero in on this dude's face. Now I want a front facing mouth. So let's go ahead and move him towards the front, and I do not want to export all of the views. So we're just going to uncheck this for the time being anyway. And you can choose from the mouth all of these different mouth things that you've got. Let's go ahead and just do cutout. And this is important here. What you want to do is you want to adjust the size as large as you can get it. Now, you don't have to move it around. Just make sure that you get the mouth type that you want, the size that you want, as well as the view that you want. You don't want to get anything that you don't want to do. Okay, so click on OK. And then that's going to bring him in with his gigantic mouth. Okay, so what we're wanting to do at this point is to delete all of the extemporaneous stuff that we do not want. So we go into our bone layer and we just highlight one of these. Now we do not want to highlight the head, because the mouth switch layer is located within the head group. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of all that and delete. And then we are going to go back up to the very bottom, and we are going to get rid of all of the others. And now all we have left is the head. So we can go ahead and get rid of that. Now at this point you can save your eyes if you like, but I'm just going to go ahead and focus on the mouth switch layer at this point. Now I'm doing this by, whenever I'm doing multiple selections like this, I'm clicking on one and then I'm holding down on the shift key and then left clicking again, and that basically does that. So we're going to go ahead and delete those, and then we're going to go ahead and delete the head. And then we're going to go ahead and leave that layer, but we're going to go ahead and drag this out and just drag the mouth layer where the layer is. And then at this point we can go ahead and delete the bone layer. Now this is important. If you delete a layer and it has several sub layers within it, you will delete all the sub layers as so. So see, the head layer is gone. Now it's at this point what you can do, you can highlight your mouth switch layer and you can basically work it the way that you want. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here, and I can go ahead and still resize the layer should I choose to, and make it larger if I want. There we go. We can make it larger like that. Just had to zoom out a little bit. But you can do that with any one of these, and see all of the switch layers that are in here are still there. They're still there. Now if you remember the other video with regard to getting rid of the mouths and changing the names, You will have to do that if you want to drop in an audio file within the switch layer, and a card should be popping up on the video right now that you can go back and look at the video that I made talking about a shortcut to lip syncing with getting rid of mouth layers and things like that. If you don't see the card showing up on this video right now, I'll link to it in the description of this video as well. But in any case, you can do that with all of these, and what you are able to do is you're able to go ahead and do this with several others. You can go back into the character wizard and you can zoom in on this guy one more time, move him back here. I'm going to zoom in on the face so I can get a better look at the mouth, and let's go ahead and do the ogre mouth. So we're going to go ahead and make the size large. It really doesn't matter. Go ahead and drop him in there, and we are going to do the exact same thing here. So once again, we are going to open up the bone layer that has all of this, and we want to scroll down as far as the head layer here. We don't want to select the head layer, otherwise we're going to delete the mouth layer along with it, or switch layer. So while that top is highlighted, I want to hold down the shift key and then select all of that and then delete. And then I'm going to want to go back near the top, select the layer underneath the head group, select that, and click on delete. And now it's a matter of going into the head and doing the exact same things. And as I've stated, you can do the eyes while you're here, but we just want to focus in on the mouth at this point and get rid of the head. And then all we have to do is move the mouth layer down here. Now it's at this point you want to start getting a little bit of organization with regards to your mouths. You want to make sure that you have names on them, because it's going to be important later on. So we're going to go ahead and there are several ways of doing this, but I'm going to go ahead and double click this and just OGR mouth. Okay, and then we're going to do this one and do cutout. Okay, so that is there, and then go ahead and delete your bone layer. It's no longer needed. And that is basically what we're going to do. You can go ahead and delete that layer and just have your switch layers there. And then we're going to back off, and you can see two different mouths that we got going on. And they're all front-facing mouths. So at this point, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and save the project. We're going to do a save, or if you're doing this alongside other things, you want to do a save as, but I haven't saved it before. So we're going to do a save. And then it's going to ask us where we are going to put it. Now I want to go ahead and name it front mouths. And this is crucial. We need to place this in our library. So the library is going to be located on the hard drive, whatever your hard drive may be called, under users, and then I'm Robert. And then we want to scroll down to Moho, and then Moho Pro, and then double click the library. And these are all of your content packs. You can see that I have mouths and eyes already created, and I'm going to go ahead and save the front mouths. Now if I close out this project and open up a new one and then go back into my library, you should see front mouths Moho right there, alongside the mouths and all that. So front mouths, if I click on the down arrow, I can see the different mouths that I can import. And let's say I just want the ogre mouth. I'm going to go ahead and click on OK, and then exit out of the library, and it'll be in the same position, but at this point you can move it around. You can adjust the size if you want. You can do a lot of these different things that you need to do. So this is a really cool way to cut down on a lot of work in creating a switch layer and getting it from your rigs that you may not want any of the rest of them. And the cool thing about it is you can do this with anything. So we'll get out of the library thing here and get back into the character wizard. When we get back into our character wizard, you have a lot of options that you can do with your mouths. You can do your 3/4, you can do your side view mouths, of course you can do your front facing mouth, have another side, and have another 3/4. You basically have 3 mouth positions, but you will also have different mouths that you can do. Cartoon mouth side, you can do cartoon mouth red, and see, you can get that from the side. Of course, some of these are going to be the same, but you have all of these different mouth sizes that you can work with. And while you're here, remember, you want to keep everything as large as you can get it. You can always adjust the size a little bit later on. I just like to get it as large as you can. And also, it comes down to the whole thing with your nose. You can change the nose. You can also change the eyes and save all of these different eyes from your rigs and create an inventory from your rigs. That way you don't have to do all of these different switch layers that you would normally have, and that way you can have an inventory at least to start off. So Moho is fantastic. The character wizard is phenomenal, but there are some things from the characters that I want to use in other projects, so I want to be able to have an inventory of all of that. So I hope this helps you out, and I hope this helps you create some great animation and increase your workflow. I'm Robert Weimer. Have a fantastic day.